Hello, golfing world. It's Pro Golf Talk Live here at TGD today. We're so happy to have you here, Roy the Third, George Honeycutt here, and we're so glad that you could join us. Jeff behind the glass, we're having a good day. We're missing some of we were supposed to have a special guest today.
Well, yeah, we were. He no-showed,
I didn't ever see that streak in him.
It's all right, it's all right, Professor Weldon. Lowe's has got that sale going on, so just stop down there and get you some.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, what's that?
You don't need to know. It's private.
But Gene will know when he hears this.
Oh,
yeah, it's in the plant section.
It is it? Okay, good.
I'm surprised that
You understand
Yeah,
now?
I do.
Yeah.
It's peat moss, right?
Yeah.
A little different, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's close to peat moss.
Yeah.
It's in the same vicinity.
50-pound bag right
Yeah,
beside
it's in the
of it.
vicinity, yeah.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I'm surprised Mr. Deal, the guru himself, or, Jimmy Bigelow.
Yeah, people
Jimmy
just don't
Biggs out
like
of
you and
Crow
I,
Creek.
George. That's just the way it is.
That's fine. That's good.
It's all good.
That's all good. They could just catch up on later.
Oh, yeah.
What they're doing is they're actually sitting back making notes so they can change their picks today.
Well, I'll tell
That's
you what,
what
we're
they're
getting ready to
doing.
give them a couple of good ones.
Oh yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Well, let's kind of let's get everything out of the way first, and then we'll get out to the WGC. Okay.
Okay.
Both the Champions Tour and the Ladies Tour are in the great state of Texas today.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both in Texas. Of course, the Champions at Woodlands, and the women are in North Texas. So you know what? Hey, you can't get any better than that.
No, you can't. And I tell you what, the girls, I got to give the girls credit. The last couple of weeks has been fun to watch.
Oh goodness, yes.
I mean, been some great golf.
Pure entertainment.
And, the Champions Tour, as always, you just, you get
And that Big Cedar Lodge event they had last week.
that was great. And to watch Joe and Billy win the thing, playing
The hole
against
in
Emory
one.
College, Joe
Yeah.
making the one, playing that crazy yellow golf ball. I'm like, come on, Joe. I mean, he lives in Pensacola, so I mean, my kids were down there, lived down there, went to school down there, and saw him. Get a regular white golf ball, please. I mean, it's not Jerry Pate anymore with the orange one. You get it.
I got some yellow ones.
Yeah, well,
I'm thinking about hitting pink.
I heard he was going to hit pink.
Yeah, I think he should.
I don't think Heather'd let me go back to a pink golf ball. So
Considering he doesn't hit it out there that far, he probably needs it just to see it.
that's all right. I can find it.
Okay.
I've lived in trailers longer than his drives.
Hey, all I can tell you is, boys, stand on your head and shake your pockets. Whatever falls out, we can play for. Put up or shut up.
Well, Champions Tour, of course, 3-day event this week, and they'll start tomorrow. Ladies Tour, of course, is doing their Saturday finish schedule, so they're getting things off and rolling. So we'll give everybody an update on those events and the outcomes and the results and some stats on Monday Morning Golf Wrap.
That'll be good.
And we've got some special guests coming in Monday, so we're excited about that.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. The Web.com tour is at Victoria National Golf Club in Newburgh, Indiana, and at the United Leasing Championship presented by PTI. And it's good to have them back domestically.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They've been down in South America for several weeks, and it's good to have them back home now. I love the way they get their season started because of the weather.
Yeah.
I
mean, going to Panama, I mean,
Yeah.
you think Panama, I mean, everybody I've talked to says that golf course is not real long, but it's tight and the ground's hard as a rock, and it will drive you nuts because the wind blows and it's hard to control your golf ball. So, listening to Vance Veazey talk about it just makes me hysterical because, I mean, he won the thing one year, and I mean, he's just like, my nerves are shot.
Yeah, folks, if you want to see, we talk about this with the LPGA, but you want to see, some people refer to it as see the up-and-comers and see the ones that are going to be on the big show one day and this, that, and the other. You just want to see some fantastic golf. You can watch any player on that Web.com tour event, and any one of them have the skills of moving up to the big show.
Well, I mean, it's no different than watching Major League Baseball, George, or you go watch AAA baseball. I mean, it's the AAA of professional golf. I mean, that's what the Web.com is, and I mean, that's how guys now get to the tour. You go to tour school just to get there so that you can earn your way to get to the regular tour. You don't go to tour school and go straight to the tour like you used to do. So, it's a great farm system that they finally have utilized it, I think, in the proper way. And you're going to get the better players coming out of there over the course of a year as opposed to, basically a 4-week stretch.
Speaking of the Web.com tour, they have started play today in Indiana, and Daewee Vanderwalt is at 3 under par through 11, and Si Woo Kim is at 3 under par through 3. He started off like a house of fire, birdie,
Yeah,
birdie,
no-
birdie.
no
That's
kidding.
not bad.
No.
Peter Melanti is at 2 under through 11. Peter Tomaluso is at 2 under. Tomasulo.
You've been out there for a
I've
while.
been corrected.
Yep. Peter played the tour for a little bit. He's a good player. Bit was injured, coming back from that.
Michael Bradley at 2 under through 6. Matt Atkins at 2 under through 5.
And again,
it
not
goes
to
on
interrupt,
down.
Michael
Yep.
Bradley, tour winner.
That's right. PGA Tour. winner.
PGA Tour winner now.
PGA
and,
Tour.
you know, he's playing the web.com trying to get back there, and because he's got a long time till the senior tour or Champions Tour. So, you know, this is where he's got to go to try to get back to the regular tour.
Well, you always see some of the names that have had to go back. And
And that's what Fincham tried to avoid for years. And they finally gave in and did it the way that was mentioned a long time ago when I was on the tour. Everybody talked about it needs to be this way. And the veterans tour winners, they're not going to go back and play. Well, they don't have a choice.
yeah. I
You
mean,
either
if you
sit
lose
at
your
home,
big show card,
You lose your card, you either get an exemption or you sit at home or you go play there.
and the money is very good on the web.
a lot better than it
tour.
used to be. I
Oh,
can promise
yeah,
you
a lot
that.
better. You see the names like Tag Ridings,
Yep.
big show player previously.
My caddy that lives here in Myrtle Beach, Red Whitlock, caddied for him as well.
Jamie Lovemark.
Yep.
There's a recognizable name. You know, you can go on down the list here and just kind of who's the who of who has been up to the big show and has had to go back down. Billy Mayfair, Steve Marino. You know, it just goes on down. Stephen Ockler. So
I mean, Billy's just buying his time for the Champions Tour because he hadn't.
He
Quite, I don't
is.
think he's turned
He
50
is,
yet.
but
he's 49.
they still got to pay the bills.
I agree.
They
But
still
that's-
got to pay the
But it's
bills.
also this is a great way for them to go and get tournament sharp.
Hone up their game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we saw that with other past Champion Tour players,
Mm-hmm.
specifically one very close to our hearts, Mr. Alan Dole.
Yes.
I mean, you know, he basically didn't get out onto the PGA Tour until he was 46 years old.
We went out there together in 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody looked at him and goes, what's this driving range dude doing out here? And
Little you know, he wins two senior U.S. Open.
the
so-
10 Cup.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, the Mr. Alan Dole, the 10 Cup.
And I'll tell you, I talked to him, you know, when I was home, you know, when Daddy passed away in
Right.
September. We talked for a long time on the phone. And you know, he's just 45 minutes an hour up the road in LaGrange from Columbus. And he was like, man, he goes, I'm playing a little bit, but he goes, I got to play the up tees now. And I got some guys that, you know, because I don't hit it very far anymore because his back and stuff. And I'd take that guy and play anybody. I don't care how
Oh,
far
dude.
he hits it or what he does.
I had the opportunity
I
of
mean,
playing
I-
18 holes with him
he's
in a Pro-Am.
unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness.
Imagine playing the pot of gold with me and Daddy.
Oh, that would have been fun.
I mean, it was
I'd
like
just
stealing.
gone-
It was
would've-
like stealing.
I would have paid cash just to go watch and be a spectator.
Oh, it was. We had he just goes, look, you let your dad and Elliot Curvin. We used to call him Elliot. Daddy used to call Elliot one oar. Mm-hmm. So because he's out in a rowboat in the middle of a lake with one oar going around
Just
in
going
circles.
around
He's
in
that
circles.
crazy. And he said, you just let them do their thing. You and I will play. I said, okay. And after about 14 holes, Alan would crack a beer and he'd start drinking and then he'd relax and just a great guy and just glad that, you know, he got a chance to do what he did because the guy's a legend.
I wish all the best to Mr. Doyle. There's no doubt about it. He is one of the nicest men. Again, like Calvin Pete and all that. He's just old school, down home, country, and
Well, he ain't country. He's a Boston Yankee, but he's a good boy
Well,
from LaGrange now.
he's picked up the southern traits, let's say.
And it took a while for folks to accept him.
Yeah,
'Cause
a
I'll tell
cup
you
of
what.
coffee doesn't taste good unless it's in a Waffle House mug for Mr. Doyle.
Yeah, and I tell you what, though, folks, you talk about a temper and throwing a tantrum.
Ooh.
Oh, it was hysterical.
Ooh.
Hysterical.
So-
Anyway, let's get back to this.
Yeah, let's do this, and let's go ahead. We've kind of touched base on the different tours, and again, the ladies are in play, Champions Tour, Web.com Tour, and then we have the PGA Tour. European Tour is taking the week off. Of course, many of their players are participating at Harding Park out at TPC in San Francisco. For many of them, first time. For many of them, it's their first time at Harding Park, not their first time in the WGC.
Yeah.
Westwood, this was his first visit to Harding Park. He had nothing but rave reviews about the area and the surroundings, and you know, My goodness, who could not enjoy going to San Francisco?
No, I mean,
So-
how do you sit there watching the golf tournament? You're looking at the Golden Gate Bridge. I mean,
Yeah, is that not gorgeous?
oh, it's
And actually, when you drive across the bridge, folks, if you look down to the right as you're going over toward the Oakland area, you can actually see the golf course. You see it all laid out there, right there in front of you. It's absolutely quite gorgeous. Hugh, we touched base on this at Roundtable on some of the results from day one. We talked about the format, what our opinions were of that. So if you want to catch those comments, be sure to check out our replay. And, of course, you can pull it up on demand here at thegolfdirector.com. What I'd like to do right now is go ahead and get into the pairings for today as we're on air. And we're catching it before they tee off. So that's a good thing. And starting off at 9:50 a.m. Out to West Coast is Jim Furyk and Tongji Jaidi. Jim Furyk, Tongji Jaidi. I got Jim winning that.
you're not going with your boy.
Nope. I'm jumping ship.
There is a first. Call Ripley's. Believe it or not. Yeah, I got to go with you there.
You got Jim?
I like Jim in that
Okay.
one as well. Absolutely.
Second match at 10 o'clock is Martin Keimer against George Katsia. Martin looked awfully good yesterday.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to have to stay with Martin Keimer on this one. I like George. Don't get me wrong. George, great game. Great game.
Yeah.
Really good soft hands. But if Keimer's gotten on a roll, much like he did at the Open at Pinehurst, look out.
Yeah. If a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his rear end either.
Okay.
So I wouldn't plan on it.
Well, thanks for that.
But I'll tell you this. I like the Kopka group. I like him in that pairing. Brooks Kopka playing Mark Warren. I think it's a great pairing. I think you could see some great golf. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, yesterday I was very impressed with the way Brooks,
I got to go Brooks.
the way he struck the ball. Mark played well.
His confidence level was as high as I've ever seen it. Just him, well, it's like he had that putt for eagle and, to end up winning another hole.
Yeah.
And they had went ahead, and, of course, his opponent was putting for par, and so he just made it good from about 15 feet. And Brooks just stepped up, didn't even come into the putt because they can practice putt in this format.
Knocked it right in.
And drained it.
Yeah.
And, okay, let's move on. I wanted to touch Group 3 real quick, HR. J.B. Holmes and Russell Henley. Now, both of these individuals yesterday had some rude awakenings, some wide open eyes, let's say, when they walked off the golf course. Both of these individuals are very phenomenal. They're excellent ball strikers. They're really playing well of late. This could be a really good match.
And
this could be down to 19, 20, 21
It
holes.
could. I like Russell in this, but I tell you what, it's a good thing they're not playing behind Paul Casey because both of them play very quick.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
You know what I
Him and-
mean? I
Him
mean,
and Kevin Na. Don't get me started.
I mean, they play quick. So,
Now, right after Brooks and Mark Warren is probably your most anticipated match of the day. Jimmy, if you're listening in, Bubba Watson against Keegan Bradley. Where are you going with this, pro?
I'm going to go with Bubba.
Oh, I have to.
I have to, too.
Now, if Keegan changes his shoes, I'm sitting on the fence.
I'm not.
So, but I'm going to go Bubba.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Again, now, made for TV, this will be great because they get to watch the fidget. So,
The scary part is you got Oosthuizen and Miguel Angel Jimenez playing behind them. And, I mean, they're going to be sitting there
Miguel,
going, come on, dude, let's go.
Miguel will be throwing cigars and port wine all day long.
Oh, he'll be screaming. He'll be screaming.
It'll be in Spanish. You won't quite understand what he's saying, but
right.
he will be screaming from the tee box.
You're right.
Get out of the way. We're playing through. No doubt about it. Next match, and one Mr. Ricky Fowler yesterday plays extremely well.
I tell you what, he looked impressive yesterday. I was very impressed with the way he played.
And he
the
is
birdie
playing
left
Shane
4 holes in a
Lowry.
row.
So I have to pick Ricky here. I have to go with the train. The train.
I'm going with the orange. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Match yesterday that kind of surprised me and ended up today, of course, the two losers playing one another. One Graham McDowell and one Harris English. I really thought G-Mac would have taken care of his match yesterday.
And he didn't look bad playing yesterday either. He just did make a few putts. He hit some good golf shots. I think you got to go with him. I think you got to go with G-Mac.
I'm going with Harris English. I'm going to go with Harris on this one. Next match is 11:10 a.m. is Dustin Johnson and Troll Schwartzel.
That's going to be that's one of my picks. I've got that on my list right here.
Oh, you
for
do?
you.
Okay, good.
I think that's one of the ones you have to try to watch today and try to see as much of as you can.
I'm going to go old school. I'm going to stay Charles, and just simply because he's almost like Mr. Pete. He can pull it back to about 70% on his swing, and he can start threading needles in the middle of fairways. And DJ is going to try to overpower some holes. He's going to try to do this. Now, DJ, of course, his length is going to become a big advantage on several holes, no doubt. But, again, Charles, when he focuses in, he's a scientist, he's a physician, he's a magician, and you just don't have a better golf swing on the tour.
Yeah, it's awful good. I agree with you 100% there.
I think you're going DJ, though.
It's hard not to since, he's from here, but it just – I don't know. That's a hard pick. That's almost a pick 'em to me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a toss-up, no doubt about it. The next match we're not even going to discuss. It's not worth our time. The next match after that, Adam Scott and Paul Casey.
I'll be at lunch.
I am hoping Adam makes a few putts today. He did not yesterday. He squeaked out, but he did not look good.
What?
He squeaked out.
But he got beat.
He could have gotten swamped.
Oh, I know.
He could have gotten ramrodded.
And if he doesn't win today, then it's adios.
But my point is, with him and Casey, I mean, Casey, bless his heart. I mean, it's good to see Casey's heart again. It's good to see his drive and his motivation, his commitment to the game. It's great to see that. But lo and behold, they could not get a par in the Cup yesterday.
No,
I mean,
there was a lot of that, though,
It was a pillow
those greens
fight.
Those greens fooled everybody yesterday. But I tell you what.
I got Adam in that against Paul.
Yeah.
You like that?
I agree with you.
Okay. We'll jump one more group, and then we'll go into Rory McIlroy, world number 1, against Brent Snedeker. Again, Rory didn't play, break the glass golf yesterday.
Yep.
He's probably at even par. He turned it on when he needed to. He hit some iron shots that were you're going, whoa. 190-yard 7-irons that are sitting down, and on those firm greens that he was getting any spin at all was phenomenal. But I don't know. Rory kind of looked comfortable. He seems to like the golf course.
Yeah,
so
I saw him hit a couple of swings that looked a little iffy, but I agree with you. And Snez doesn't look like he's got anything at all. He didn't yesterday anyway.
For whatever reason, he looks tired.
He does.
I don't know what it is. So the next match, I think, is just one that you may enjoy watching just because of the quote unquote the role, the kind of energy and drive that this individual displayed yesterday during the first round, and that is one Mr. Billy Horschel against Jason Duffner. Now, Jason, he will probably span the 14 holes it takes to play today. They'll have to go and remind him a couple times to remove the pillow and to quit duffing on the tee boxes and to get out there and actually hit a shot, because Jason's not with it, dude.
No, he is mentally not there, and it's obvious. And it's just there's a lot going on, and it's a shame. But, I mean, it's just part of life, and hopefully he'll come out of it and get going. I tell you the match that I like, George, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I like the Dubuis and Matt Jones. I think that'll be a good one.
Okay.
Both of them.
I mean, we skipped it early, but yeah. Okay.
I think
if
it'll
you
be
like
a decent
that,
one.
that's good. Well, if you put that's a 50-50 call.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you another pairing that I think is likewise a 50-50 call, and that's Hideki Matsuyama against Yao Luton.
Yeah. I agree with
I
you.
think that's another fence setter right there. Either one could go either way, and it's just a matter of if one of them gets on a birdie train for
Somebody
2 or 3
gets hot,
holes.
yeah.
So then you got Kevin Na against Alexander Levy, who I think will be another just one of those matches like, okay, what group just went by?
It's like, is this over?
Who
yet?
was that?
It's like, get out of the way.
I have no clue who that was.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even send out name bearers with this group.
Well,
they want them to get done as quickly under 6 hours as possible.
Yeah, and the scary part is you've got Jamie Donaldson and Tommy Fleetwood, and you're like going, who's Tommy Fleetwood?
Right. Well, he's got the hair, dude.
But I mean, people are looking at this going, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a World Golf Championship event, and people are like,
Well, you're gonna be world ranked below 70 to get in this thing.
Oh, I understand.
So
I mean, obviously the guy can play. So
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, they can put on something to make a name for themselves.
In reference to you got to be in the world top 70 to play this thing. Is the group going off at 12:30? Is Justin Rose against Anaban Lahiri,
Yeah.
our first Indian player who played at the Masters and has worked his way right up into the quote-unquote top 40 of the world.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be a good match. You got to wonder where Justin's mind is right now. Is he still tired?
We're about to find out.
So Anaban played very well yesterday. Very well. So that'll be a good match, I think. Then you've got Jimmy Walker against Webb Simpson.
Ho hum.
Yeah, those two are going to be in a love fest all day. They'll be swapping spit.
I like the Zach Johnson Charlie Hoffman pairing. Be honest.
Zach Johnson, Charlie Hoffman. Yeah,
I think that's a pretty
Hoffman's going to be.
good. He's tough in California, dude. It's where he's from.
Yeah. And Zach played well.
And the golf course fits Zach Johnson.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good match.
Let me ask the question. 1 o'clock. Does Poulter show up against Woodland, or does he go ahead and fold up the tent and pack the car?
Like I told you earlier, the balloon's about to pop, and this is whether it stays up or it gets.
If any air at all stays in the balloon, this is
it.
depend on the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Woodland in that match against you. I figured you would take Poulter, so considering that's your love fest, boy. So I'll go ahead and stick with Woodland on that one.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Henrik Stenson against Brendan Todd. Does Henrik get upset and come after this guy?
I think so. I tell you what, though. I mean,
I got Henrik winning this thing in 15. It's over
I'll
early.
give him 16.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stick with 15.
I mean, when you turn Facebook on first thing in the morning while you're waiting for your wife to finish getting dressed, you and the only thing you see is Brendan Todd hitting a duck hook with a 3-iron from the woods to about 6 feet.
Uh-huh.
You're going, how do I pick him sitting there thinking he's going to play well today?
I agree.
So
I
agree with you.
I hear what you're saying. Okay. But I'm going to stick with Stenson.
I agree. I'm going Stinson too.
Yeah. Ben Martin and Hunter Mahan. Okay. I hope.
Ben Martin.
Ben?
I hope he beats a living
Ben, if you're
daylight.
listening to the golf director, the Godfather and HR3, okay, we wish you all the best, and we want you to go out and literally put this thing to bed by 11.
Give him 13 holes. Let him get warmed up so he's got a good practice round for tomorrow.
Okay. How Chunk and Dunk ends up winning by that many yesterday, I have no clue. And I had someone ask me, our listener the other day approached me and asked me why I had such a love fest with Hunter Mahan. And it all boils back to, folks, that Ryder Cup.
Yep.
That Ryder Cup. So we all famously remember it. Jason Day against Brandon Grace. That'll be a good match. Brendan Grace can play golf.
Yes.
And it's going to depend. Jason's going to have to be on his game.
And those cypress trees will eat your ball, as we saw yesterday.
Well,
with
we
Jimmy
saw that
Walker.
with Jimmy.
Yep.
So, okay, I've got a very, very solid win pick here. The Golf Guru, if you're listening in, go ahead and bet barefoot the Dye Club Resort on this one. You can go ahead and put the paper on it. Sergio Garcia will beat Bernd Wiesberger. Okay? Go ahead and bet the cows, the goats, the chickens, and the mailbox.
You better hope he does.
Sergio will beat Bernd Wiesberger.
Guy's ranked 40th in the world, so he's not that bad, George.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm going to ride the Garcia train for at least one more day. Okay? You're allowed to have your love fest with you know who, so
All right.
I'll keep mine with Sergio.
Okay.
By the way, this header, when you put the poster up of Ian Poulter in the bedroom, did she get upset?
It's not there.
Okay, all right. Jordan Spieth playing Matt Avery. How is this going to turn out?
I think it's going to be a great match. I wrote it down on my notes. I think this could be – Matt Avery can play. And I think that this could be a very good match, especially with the circumstances of, Spieth as well as he's playing and Matt kind of having a fire lit under him. I think this could be very, very good.
This is where that television coverage is kicking in. They are going to be all over this group every shot. So I'm looking forward to it as far as this is what the match play is all about.
Yes.
This is entertainment. And that twosome right there is going to provide a lot of it today.
Yeah.
Now, we may get surprised and shocked, and one of them may win by 7. But, 7 and 6. So who knows?
Yeah.
But I think this is one of those that could go 20, 21, 22.
It could. It very well
Yeah.
could. And again, like I said, I just think that it's two guys that are very good players that they get on a roll and start going back and forth. I think it could be very entertaining from a birdie standpoint and just golf in general. So
Watching them execute and
Yes.
things like that, different shots. Okay, just for our friends at Callaway Golf, I had to bring up this pairing because it is the Callaway Golf pairing for the day. Okay? Patrick Reed against Danny Willett. Both of them are staff players. So that's the only reason I brought it up, dude. I mentioned their names. I mentioned Callaway Golf, so I've done my job.
yeah.
I don't know. Danny, you're not quite sure, who's going to show up with Danny. He's like Keegan Bradley.
Yeah.
One day he's like, I don't want to be here, and the next day he's like, I can beat everybody in the parking lot. And with Reed, we all know where he's at. He stands.
He's not playing bad at the moment.
No, he's
though.
not. No.
So
I kind of got this as a Callaway Golf toss-up between the two staff players.
yeah.
So I'm going to go with Reed. It depends on where you want to fall on that side of the fence. So it's up to you. And then the last match of the day will be Ryan Moore against Andy Sullivan. Again,
Ho hum.
I think Ryan there takes that. Any picks that you want to retract on and go the opposite direction before we leave the air?
No. I'm
You feel good with them all?
Yeah, I do. I like what we're seeing. I mean, I think that I think we're going to see some good golf today, and I think you're going to see the ones that
Again, let's remind everyone, Hugh, the format, it's 18 yesterday, 18 today, or other holes if they need
Yeah.
to, until the match is completed.
3 matches they'll play again tomorrow.
And then
They've
it's
already got
18
them paired
tomorrow.
for tomorrow.
And then 36 holes Saturday. For the quote-unquote 32 finalists. And then, of course, there will be a consolation and a championship on Sunday, 36 holes. So a lot of golf coming up.
Yep.
We're going to enjoy it.
ton.
We're going to get to see it in prime time, which is great, I think. I'm looking forward to that. I'd rather see that than I would maybe a bunch of cars turning left or a bunch of guys bouncing a round ball.
I hear
So.
you. I hear you.
All right, for HR3 Hugh Roy III, I'm George Honeycutt. We want to thank TGD Radio and TV for producing this show, and it is broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting The Golf Director, be sure to check out our featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Need help with a golf vacation? Just call Dave. Give us a call, 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show you may have missed, click on the radio or the TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices at iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, and, of course, the Myrtle Beach Golf app. For George Honeycutt, Hugh Roy III, and Jeff Gilder behind the glass, I want to thank you for tuning in and watching us today. There's more golf news and information coming up next.